hit it. Welcome. And if you've been following along or you haven't been following along, guess what? You're listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith, all the way from Florida.
Good morning. Well, it seems like it's been a long time since we've been on the air, but you know how it goes. Anyway, I'm glad it's 2024, and we are ready to go. A lot of things happening in the world of sports.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's almost too much stuff happening for one little show. And, all right. Now, this week on Shout Out, we have music from Jairus Daigle. Will he find his shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world, not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the Ravens wish they could fly far away from an embarrassing home loss to the Chiefs. Does this qualify as a choke job? Is Lamar doing a repeat of Peyton Manning and the Colts? Are the Ravens destined to be the next Houston Oilers, knocking at the door but never able to bust that damn thing down? Is Kansas City simply super? Are there any chinks in the KC armor? Are we looking at a dynasty? Marvelous Marvin Hagler, rest in peace, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Boy, oh boy, does this qualify as a choke job? I think this is a choke job for the offense. I ain't going to say it's a choke job for the defense, because that defense did not choke, because they stopped Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the second half, except for that one play at the end, which they needed to stop, but they didn't do that. But that was the only issue with that defense. They gave the offense every opportunity to win this game, and they couldn't do it. Now, what went wrong? Basically, the Ravens changed their identity. That's right, Spitface. They changed their identity. They did not play like who they were during the regular season. I mean, the team ran the football and passed out the play action. For some unknown reason, the offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, tried to make Lamar into a pass-first quarterback. He was in the pocket most of the first and second half. He did not use his legs. Also, Lamar missed a lot of open wide receivers. However, we knew he wasn't always an accurate passer. That's always been a knock on Lamar. But for some crazy reason, the offensive coordinator changed their entire offensive philosophy. I mean, you got to be who you are, what got you to the point where you are to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, come on. This team ran. Even in the beginning, in the first half, they did do some running, and their rushers were getting at least 5 to 6 yards. I mean, Kansas City couldn't even stop the run game. So I don't know why he changed. I don't know why he wanted to change his identity. I mean, I don't know if he wanted Lamar to prove that he could be like Patrick Mahomes. Hell no, he cannot be like Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have the arm. He doesn't have the accuracy. He is not Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes is not him either, because Lamar can run the ball. So, I mean, it just did not make any sense, to be honest with you. It really didn't make any sense. And I have to blame Harbaugh because, I mean, come on now. You the coach. You the head coach. You needed to get on your offensive coordinator and told him plain and simple, what are you doing? I'm quite sure they went over the game plan prior to the game, so I really didn't understand why they changed their identity. You don't change your identity to get to the big dance. Come on now, I don't understand why you do this. Why you did this. So is Lamar doing a repeat of Peyton Manning and the Colts? It appears so. Both Lamar and Peyton Manning were always great regular season quarterbacks. They always performed at that level, but in the playoffs they couldn't get the performance at the same level as it was in the regular season. I mean, Peyton Manning eventually won 2 Super Bowls, one with the Colts in 2007 and the Broncos in 2016. However, he also won those 5 MVPs, but he had so many years that he didn't get to the Super Bowl, you know? And unfortunately, Lamar is on the same trajectory as Peyton Manning, you know? It's Peyton Manning's earlier path, you know, as far as not getting to the Super Bowl. But, you know, Lamar still has a lot of football left in him. But it's very hard to get back to that dance, to be in this situation, especially now because Lamar is no longer on his rookie deal. So it's going to be hard for them to surround people around him. Are the Ravens destined to be the next Houston Oilers, knocking at the door but never able to bust a damn thing down? Oh, what can I say?
Blow you blue.
What can I say? The Houston Oilers, that's a name from the past. They the Texans now. You know, they the Texans now. But you want to know something? They're not going to be, I mean, first of all, you can't call the Ravens the Houston Oilers. And let me tell you why you can't. Because of the fact that the Ravens have already won 2 Super Bowls. The Houston Oilers was in the playoffs 10 times and never got to the Super Bowl, but at least the Ravens did win 2 Super Bowls. Now, I think they only been there twice, and both times they won. Now, in regards to the Lamar Jackson Ravens, that's what I think we're talking about, are the Lamar Jackson Ravens destined to be the next Houston Oilers. You know, I still think they can make it to the Super Bowl. You know, obviously this year probably was their best chance because, again, like I said, Lamar is no longer on that rookie contract deal, and it's so difficult for teams really to build a team in the salary cap era. You know, that NFL salary cap is very difficult. And, they was doing it okay. You know, Lamar signed that big contract, so now it's going to be hard for them to surround him players around him. Now, I don't know what the deal is with some of his wide receivers. I know Odell Beckham, he probably won't be back next year. Not sure who else is going to be back, and not sure how that defense is going to look. But let's face it, the Ravens had a chance. They didn't play well. They were very undisciplined, made a lot of mental errors. So, even some of the defense, I remember when at time, some of the defense players even made mental errors. And, of course, Flowers, that taunting penalty was just ridiculous. So there's just so many things that he did wrong. And, he'll bounce back. And the Ravens, I think, will bounce back. I think next year they still have a chance to go back and have a chance to be in the conference championship game. Now, I'm not sure who they're going to play, but, we'll see. But I think they can come back next year. I think maybe this is the last year that they could have that team around Lamar. Is Kansas City simply super? I would never bet against KC. I would never bet against KC. I think everyone is very surprised about this Chiefs team made it to the Super Bowl. Very, very surprised. This was the first year that their defense was far superior than their offense. However, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid were great in executing their offensive schemes, even though the Ravens shut them down in the second half. Let's just face it, he did enough in that second half to win the game. He became a great game manager. And that's something Patrick is not. Patrick is like taking, he likes to gamble. but he didn't cause any problems when the team obviously wasn't scoring, but they did enough in that first half because the Ravens and the defense held the Ravens to, I think there was only one touchdown they held them to. Mm. So they didn't get a chance to do what they needed to do. And, are there chinks in the KC armor? Are we looking at a dynasty? There's always hard to have a dynasty in the NFL, because of the salary cap. But I'm going to tell you something. As long as the Chiefs had Patrick and Andy Reid, they can win more Super Bowls. And I have a feeling that they're going to beat the 49ers, and they're going to get their third Super Bowl. So, if they win this Super Bowl, I consider them a dynasty already. Definitely consider them a dynasty. All right, Spitface, what you saying about this?
First Lady, but there is not any point that I disagree with. And, I'm really, really surprised at how the Ravens played. It just seemed like as a team, they were looking past KC to the Super Bowl. Like I already got this. And so, I know that's something in each person's individual mind, but it just seemed like there was no, we got to beat these guys. It was like, okay, we got this. And it was, and KC was like, we got to beat these guys. And that's experience. They've been there. They know that that what it takes to get to the Super Bowl, and they appreciate that any number of things could have kept them from getting there. And I think that's one of the main differences with the Ravens and I'll say with Lamar. And I had to look at the Ravens as they're probably the strongest team in the AFC. I mean, they can make a few adjustments here, a few adjustments there, but they really are the strongest team in the AFC. Now, the question is, can they play good enough to win the big game? And I think that Lamar is in a better position than Peyton with the Colts to win a Super Bowl within the next couple of years. And I think he just has a better team overall, different kind of quarterback, but they could have won that game. So and I think it will leave Lamar with a bitter taste in his mouth, because being that close and knowing that you controlled everything, and that's a bitter taste when I can't blame nobody but myself. As far as KC, shoot, until they get dethroned, they looking mighty super to me. I'm with you, First Lady. Now, we don't have picks this week, but so that everybody can marinate, get those last minute somebody get hurt is, that's who's going to actually play in the game, So, but it will be we'll have fun with the picks. But right now, even if they lose the Super Bowl, the dynasty is on, because they're going to make it back. And they already paid Mahomes the big money and other players. And Andy Reid can figure out how to bring in the right cast of characters. But right now, the defense looking good. So, you might not be paying a fortune out over on offense other than your quarterback, but you getting that defense together. And that can be a mean combination. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
All right. Well, Lamar more than likely is going to win his second MVP of his young career. And like you said, it's going to leave a bad taste in his mouth as far as that he had the opportunity to get to the Super Bowl. So, again, like I said, I think they can do it again next year. He'll be better before this, and, hopefully he won't choke again. All right, Spitface, over to you.
The sound of Lamar choking. I hope not. Okay, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in bed, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics to make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest of the all get sliced and diced competition, paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the knockout points to the Detroit Lions by the 49ers. Did Detroit choke? Did the coach choke? If the 49ers barely beat the Lions, do they stand a chance at unseating the reigning Super Bowl champs? If the 49ers win the Super Bowl, will we be seeing the beginning of the legend of Brock? Is McCaffrey the luckiest player in the NFL after escaping the Panthers? Leroy Satchel Paige, Walter Buck Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bell are asking, what you saying? First Lady, first off, let me start with the good stuff. McCaffrey, you's the luckiest player in the NFL. And have a conversation with Saquon. If you ever feel that you are not lucky, have a little conversation with Saquon Barkley, stuck up there in New York. Just have a little conversation with him, because you, my friend, are in the Super Bowl. Panthers, you can call up Bryce and say, yo, Bryce, you know how good it is to be over here at the 49ers. The way his season went. So, McCaffrey, not only, I'll just say that you are deservingly lucky. You're a bad man. You had a shot at being MVP, even though mostly only quarterbacks get that. But you were in the conversation. Now, if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, will we be seeing the beginning of the legend of Brock? Oh, yeah, we will. I mean, the media blitz will be on. Now, Brock won't be able to upstage Patrick with his black diamonds. Okay, Brock, you ain't going to be able to do none of that stuff. So, and I know you're in California, but you ain't going to be able to do that Hollywood type thing. Because you got way too much Iowa in you, Now, but you're going to get also Mr. Irrelevant takes his team to the Super Bowl and wins it. Oh, it's on then. Because now we got a Brock, we're going to have the Brock Purdy group, who's going to be, he was the underdog, who's going to be rooting for you. And you're going to have the group who, they anti-Patrick, them Kansas City Chiefs, they've been winning, I'm tired of them, and I'm rooting for Brock. So, it's on like Donkey Kong, the legend. And don't mess around and get back to the Super Bowl, because then it is really on. But I do have some questions, because the 49ers was looking a little shaky during that game, and if it wasn't for the fact that a coach, I don't even want to say choked, just got stupid, and left points that were available to go for fourth down. It was just dumb. So I do not know what was up with the Lions, and if it was somebody else, I'd say check his wallet. But I think it was a case of toughness run amok. Hey, we win it. Take the 3 points. First Lady, what you saying?
What I'm saying, well, did the Detroit choke and did the coach choke? Yes. 2 teams choked in the championship games. Yes, the Lions choked. The Ravens and the Lions. I mean, the Lions had this game won. Not only did the team choke, but Dan Campbell also choked because he was very inconsistent with his decision-making. You know, all week after the game, I heard pundits say that Campbell made these decisions throughout the regular season, so that's the reason why he did what he did. You know, he left points on the board with those field goals that he could have taken. You know, they said that's how he played all season. Well, yeah, he did take chances during the regular season. However, during the regular season, you have another game next week, so you can't take chances. But when you have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, you have to play the game differently. So I have to break this down because, you know, it really made me angry because you know, I had picked Spitface, the Lions, to win that game for our picks, the NFL picks. But anyway, during the first half, he had a chance to go for a touchdown. He was on the San Francisco 3-yard line, the 3-yard line, whatever, yeah. And the Lions were up 21-7. He decided to take the field goal to be up 24-7. Now, if he played true to his colors, he should have gone for the touchdown there. I mean, you're on the 3-yard line, so I mean, come on now. That's when you should have done the touchdown. And I mean, when you think about it, if you had gotten a touchdown right then, they would have been up 28-7. So they only 24-7. Okay, so even if he had missed the touchdown, he had the entire second half to do something in the second half. So personally, I think he should have gone for the touchdown then. So now you wait until the second half. Now you're in the second half. The game is shortened. You know, time is of the essence now when you're in the second half. The 49ers had just kicked a field goal to make it 24-10. Campbell was at the 28-yard line of the 49ers. They had just, you know, like I said, they had just kicked the field goal and to make it 24-10. At that point, he should have kicked the field goal instead of trying to go for the first down. To me, that's when he should have made it 28-10. Because what happened after that play when the 49ers held the team, the Lions, on that fourth down play, that really sparked the emotions for the 49ers. And they went on a roll and overtook the lead. They went and scored 17 points after that particular incident. 17 points. That really sparked them. He poked the bear at that point as far as I was concerned. And that's why, you know, if they had scored a field goal, you score a field goal, to me, they're back to square one again, trying to get points. So, I mean, that was a bad call. Then, after the 49ers took the lead 27-24, it was 7:38 left in the game. In the fourth quarter, 7:38, you had a chance to tie the game with a field goal at the 30-yard line. Instead, you decided to go for the first down. But really, you didn't even go for the first down. I mean, if you went for the first down, that would have been okay. But you guys decided to throw a deep pass, which went incomplete. Come on, man. It's only 7 minutes and 38 seconds left in the game. You got to tie the game up. If you didn't tie the game up then you need to just try to go for the first down. Don't try to get a long pass. You got to make sure you had the first down. So, I mean, that was just bad decision-making by him. And, you know, he just never recovered from them bad mistakes because after that, they scored another touchdown, I think. Yeah, they scored another touchdown. So I'm not saying he choked. He just miscalculated being aggressive. He should have been aggressive in the first half and not aggressive in the second half. Well, I don't know. Call it what you want to call it. But anyway, I just was very disappointed in how Campbell coached that game. And the 49ers, the 49ers, man, let's face it, the 49ers came back twice in 2 games. They came back twice in the divisional game to beat the Packers, and they came back twice again to beat the Lions. So do they have a chance against the Chiefs? Of course they got a chance against the Chiefs. You know, many pundits have the 49ers favored to win. The 49ers have more playmakers than the Chiefs, but the 49ers don't have Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes, unfortunately to me, Mahomes has to be spectacular for the Chiefs to win, whereas Brock Purdy, really doesn't have to be spectacular. He just got to be respectable for the 49ers to win. So this is why the 49ers are favorite, but I'm going to tell you, I never bet against Mahomes and Reed. Somehow they know how to pull it up because you expect Patrick Mahomes to be spectacular. And so, I mean, he's going to probably be spectacular. And we'll have to see how Brock Purdy does. You know, I mean, everybody's talking about Brock Purdy. You know, Cam Newton said he's not a game changer. He's a game manager. You know, is Brock Purdy a legend? I already think Brock Purdy is a legend. Remember, he was Mr. Irrelevant, being the 262nd pick of the 2022 draft. I mean, he was the last player chosen in the draft. He has already exceeded expectations as far as I'm concerned because he got them to the Super Bowl. Remember, last year he was injured. I mean, last year the 49ers could have gone to the Super Bowl, but they didn't even have a quarterback. All of their quarterbacks were totally injured. Yep. They had to put McCaffrey under center. So you know that that Brock Purdy is already a legend, to be honest with you. I mean, how do you expect Mr. Irrelevant to the Super Bowl? I mean, that's unheard of when you think about it. You look to see how many Mr. Irrelevants even made it to the NFL, made it on an NFL team. Most of them make it to the practice squad. You know, most of them are back. Most of them are either working their jobs or whatever they're doing. They're not playing in the NFL. And here you have Brock Purdy leading the team to a Super Bowl. His legend is already solidified as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's already exceeded expectations. I mean, winning the Super Bowl obviously will be a great story. I mean, if he wins the Super Bowl, basically what will happen, they're going to do a movie about Brock Purdy, okay?
You say you ready for the Brock Purdy story.
The Purdy story, right. Now, is McCaffrey the luckiest player in the NFL after escaping the Panthers? Absolutely, he is the luckiest player in the league. I mean, he's so darn lucky he don't want to be with them Panthers. My goodness. He has a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So, of course, he's the luckiest player. That's all I'm saying, Spitface.
Hey, sometimes it works out. First Lady, please take us to break.
What you say? Sometimes it works out. Absolutely. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Jairus Daigle on Shout Out Part 1. I hope I pronounced the man's name right.
The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Jairus Daigle.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today we are featuring the music from Jairus Daigle out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, from his hit album, Roam Around the City. They say Jairus' originality takes the jazz lovers across the board with a touch of smooth jazz, rock jazz, jazz standards, and contemporary jazz. All right, he does it all. All right, DJ, let's hear Genesis. right. That's Jairus Daigle. All right, so you know what? I was trying to determine what instrument he played. He's a jazz violinist. I mean, come on, he plays a mean violin. You know, Spitface, I started out as a young child trying to play the violin. And
wow.
I hated the violin. I thought it was one of the most boring instruments. But now, since they came out with all these jazz violinists, it's really, I mean, it has a nice sound and everything. So I'm definitely shouting it out. You hitting the mute, or you going to shout it out?
I'm shouting it out, and you know, I think a lot of my friends who are jazz lovers, they're mainly into the saxophone, and I love saxophonists, but I like the other instruments too. So it is kind of nice to hear a different instrument featured. So I'm shouting it out.
Okay, all right. On part 2 of Shout Out, we'll feature another track from Jairus Daigle, and hopefully it's just as good as the first track. Is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
They call him Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he. And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder, lying there under the sea.
All right. It's time for Flip It, while hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. In a surprise move, Doc Rivers is the new coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, and his takeover came while the team was winning. Doc has been a winner in the regular season, but has come up short in the playoffs. Is this a good move for the Bucks? All right, defend. This could be an all-time great move that gets Doc his first NBA championship and Giannis a second ring. First Lady, you know, Doc has, you know, he's had to deal with some things. He's had some tough breaks. But I'm looking at Doc and I'm thinking about Andy Reid. And I go, here's a guy, Andy Reid. He was about to have one of those records where it's like, top winningest coaches of all time who never, won a Super Bowl. Never, won the big dance. And great coach, winning coach, but just couldn't get it done. And then, he gets kicked to the curb, ends up in KC. The next thing you know, dynasty. Folks talking about how he might mess around and, with one more win, he might quickly move up the ladder to surpass Belichick and Brady. But that's a different conversation for a different time. But Doc, this is your shot. And this might be Doc's last shot. But if you're going to get a last shot, Giannis is the guy you get to look to? That might not be too bad. But I expect that there's what the missing ingredient to get that team over the hump was someone with Doc's personality and the respect that he commands. So, go Doc, First Lady, defend.
Yes. It's interesting. Doc continues to get higher as a coach. And the reason why he gets higher as a coach is because he knows how to manage personalities. He's dealt with a lot of teams with multiple superstars on the team. He knows how to motivate his players, and he is a player's coach. He had the experience where Griffin did not have the experience. Even though Adrian Griffin, come on now. He got them to number 2 slot in the Eastern Conference. There's no slouch. He did a good job to get them to that. I don't know really why they felt that they needed to fire him at the time, but I guess what they had stated that they didn't expect them to be contenders to get to the NBA Finals. That didn't make that much sense to me. Every time you have Giannis, you should expect to get to the Finals. But anyway, that's besides the point. So, they're going to bring Doc in because, at that given time, they just felt Doc was fresh off of coaching the Sixers. The other coaches that would have been out there, they talked about Van Gundy, Mark Jackson. Those guys haven't coached in years, but at least Doc had coached. So that was the thing. He brings that coaching experience. Yes, he's had a lot of issues in the playoffs. There's no question about it, no denying that. But his ability to galvanize players and bring them to play together is something special. And I think that's what the Bucks ownership and general manager felt, that he saw a little disconnect with the team. You seemed like they couldn't get Giannis and Damian Lillard together, to make them play together. I think that's what it was. They seemed disjointed, and that's why I think they brought Doc in. And it's going to be quite interesting because anytime you had Giannis, Doc should be able to succeed in the playoffs, because basically that's what they brought Doc in. They didn't bring Doc in for the regular season because Adrian was doing a darn good job of the regular season. They brought Doc in to manage the playoffs, and it should be interesting. So, they felt that he was the best person out there to bring the championship to Giannis and have him get his second ring. He has done it before with the Celtics. He's won a lot of games, but he's also lost a lot of games. But anyway, we'll see. We shall see. That's all I'm saying, Spitface.
All right. Is Doc the right medicine? Okay, well, we're going to flip it. Defend. If you're switching coaches in mid-season and your team is winning, there is something wrong. It's like switching horses in the middle of a race. Bad move. First Lady, I'm looking at this, and there has to be something going on that the Bucks are keeping in-house when you're winning, and not just like kind of barely winning, like a little bit over 500, but you deck into the thing, and you make a coaching change at this time. There is something that is going on in the Bucks organization. Maybe not so much in management. It might be the team, like you said. It could be some personality issues. So they got to bring, so they're like, look, bring Doc in because we don't want to blow it. We're trying to win. So I can kind of get them bringing them in, but I don't get that this is a good move. And because of whatever is really going on with that team, now they do again. They're keeping it in house. But something don't smell right. There's something there. And now I wish Doc all the good fortune and he's one of my favorite coaches. But I don't know, Doc, if you're gonna be on the winning hand of this one. Like I said, hey, you don't you're in the Kentucky Derby, you're going down the track. No, I want to change to this other horse. No, you just don't do that. First Lady, defend.
The Bucks really didn't know what Griffin could have done in the postseason. I think he just got a raw deal. I mean, they really didn't know. They didn't even give the man a chance. How do you know? This was his first coaching job. So how do you know what he could have done in the postseason? The problem for the Bucks, they know what Doc Rivers can do in the postseason. He has not won a championship since coaching the Celtics. Was it 2008? Doc has blown three 3-1 series leads in his coaching career. The NBA has only had 13 blown 3-1 series in the history of the league, and Doc has done it 3 times. He's 6-10 in Game 7s, the most losses in the NBA history for playoffs. He's 17-33 in games where his team could have clinched the playoff series. That's a 34% winning rate. I mean, this is bad. I mean, I don't understand with all the bad baggage the Doc River brings as a playoff coach. We're not talking about the regular season. We're talking about in the playoffs. I did not understand why the Bucks decided that they would make him their next coach. He's not great with X and O's. He doesn't really use a lot of strategic aptitude, and he doesn't make adjustments on the fly. He's a great manager of players. So if that's what they're looking for, if they're looking for someone to schmooze their players, then Doc is the answer. But he is not a good playoff coach. His record shows that. That's why I don't understand why the Bucks hired Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers has been living off of his reputation when he coached the Celtics. He has been downright horrible as a coach in the playoffs. Bucks need a coach to get them over the hump. And I'm sorry, Doc Rivers isn't the right coach. His history shows that, and the stats do not lie.
The stats do not lie. Well, on that note, First Lady, I guess I better just pass it over to you for a little more flip it.
Yes, we are Flip It Part 2. The 49ers and the Chiefs are heading to the Super Bowl, and both teams are very, very happy. But we wonder about a few teams who were expected to be there, but somehow it didn't work out. We wonder who was the biggest loser between the Cowboys, and we ain't talking about weight, we talking about losing, between the Cowboys and the Bills. Panel defense. Getting blasted at home, and you are the favorite, hands down. Hands down, the Cowboys are the biggest losers. Spitface defend.
First Lady, I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock. I'm trying to figure out why McCarthy still got a job. I'm like, I expected that the Cowboys would win their home game, but I guess the pattern of losing the teams with winning records pretty much prevailed. And not just, it wasn't just that they lost the game, like in a nail biter. They got their asses whooped up and down and I'm like, man, they have got to be the biggest pretenders in the history of the game. I mean, no black diamonds for Dak. Only Mahomes can do that. But given the impact on Cowboy Nation, you ain't hearing a peep out of the Cowboys fans. You ain't hearing a peep out of them. They've got to be the biggest losers.
yeah, they are the biggest loser. I mean, what can you say? I mean, like you said, Spitface, the magnitude of this loss was so overwhelming. The Cowboys, like you said, they got trounced. I mean, it wasn't until the end that they made the game look respectable. But we all know this game was never respectable. The Cowboys were never in it. They look horrible. Now you're talking about choking. They look scared, to be honest with you, that they were playing in this game. I mean, especially Dak Prescott. I mean, this was the year this was the year the Cowboys had a top-ranked offense and a fifth-ranked scoring defense. I mean, it was the year that Dak Prescott was playing well. And then you let a young team with the first-time quarterback, Jordan Love, first-year starter, to beat you and to beat you like that. I mean, he was picking you guys apart. And, and unfortunately with the Cowboys, it's either a win or a bust because their goal is to be in the Super Bowl. And that's what the fans expect. And, again, the Cowboys always disappoint their fans. They always disappoint Jerry Jones. And like you said, Spitface, why is McCarthy back? Why? There seems to be a reason this man can't galvanize his team to win. I mean, it's something wrong there. I don't understand it. Is it the X's and O's? I mean, actually, you have to blame Dan Quinn for this one because the defense was horrific. The defense, actually, the offense was bad too. Let me stop because Dak wasn't as bad.
It was equal opportunity bad.
The defense was bad. I mean, offense was bad too, right? Because he threw a pick six and another interception. So
First Lady, they wearing too much bling on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Everybody bling down instead of, they need to get back to drop the bling and do some hard
the Cowboys,
play.
we just need to stop saying that this team is going to win because they just, like Stephen A. say, whatever goes wrong will go wrong. There's a black cat running in that arena. And damn sure they was home and they couldn't win. Now, that is they are the biggest loser. All right, but panel, we got to flip this script. The Bills were supposedly built to beat the Chiefs and folded like pool furniture. They are the biggest loser. Spitface defend.
One, you finally get Kansas City in the position that you want. You're not on the road. They're on the road. They got to come to your house. And for the last, the Cowboys is always going to be the hype that this is the year. But mainly Cowboy fans buy into that. Mostly everyone else goes, hey, they'll believe it when they see it. But see, the Bills were supposed to be the team that this was their year. They were going to shake it off. They were going to they were designed, their whole structure is so that they could compete with the Kansas City Chiefs and beat them. And it's like they get in, now it's time to play, and they looking lost, and that's what they did, lose. And the Josh Allen, he got the commercial where him and the guy are in the bushes and they fade back into it. He should stay in the bushes for a while. Don't get out the bushes. Just stay in the bush, for a while. But I thought they would at least be able to defend their home. And I'm just surprised. But I think their loss is bigger than the Cowboys because folks outside of Buffalo were really expecting that if they weren't battling, now they might have been battling with the Ravens, but they would have beat the Chiefs. Pool furniture. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
Well, yeah, like you said, this was the year that it was supposed to be different for the Bills. But let's look at the Bills season in general. I mean, the Bills were barely going to make it to the playoffs. I mean, at one point they almost won in Philadelphia, and then they were 6-6. You know, after their bye, they were 6-6, and then they went on a roll. They won like five games in a row, and then they went to Miami, and they beat the Dolphins in Miami to win the division. I mean, to be honest with you, you have to look and see where the Bills came from. The Bills were so far down, but then they went on a roll, so they had momentum going into this conference finals. They had momentum, and it just didn't make sense what happened to them because, like you said, nobody knew how Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were going to play on the road because they've always won against the Bills in Arrowhead. This was the first time that they were playing at their stadium, and they had it on their grounds with, Orchard Park, New York. They had a chance to win the it was a divisional game. I apologize, not the championship. They had a chance to win the divisional game, and they just didn't get it done. I mean, was it Josh Allen's fault? I thought he played a decent game. It's just Patrick Mahomes was much better. And Andy Reid, they just played differently. People expected Mahomes and the Chiefs not to live up to expectations. Actually, there was no expectation for the Chiefs because really the Chiefs had a bad season. Their receivers weren't catching the ball. They was dropping the ball. They was not lined up in the right formations. There was so much a disconnect with the Chiefs. Everybody thought once the Bills got to this point and to this game that they were supposed to win that game. But they didn't win the game. So, again, just like the Cowboys, they are the biggest loser. They disappoint again against the Patrick Mahomes team. They can't beat the Chiefs. They can't beat Patrick Mahomes. So, again, the Bills will have another bad taste in their mouth. But I'll tell you one thing. I thought their coach would have been gone, too. They bring him back. So, I think maybe Bill Belichick could have done well with the Bills. I mean, that was a spot that I think Bill Belichick could have gone because he demands attention. He demands their players to be on point. So I think what they do, they needed somebody like Bill Belichick. So anyway, they'll continue. They can't beat Patrick Mahomes. All right, Spitface, please take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we have another performance from someone who's not a loser, Jairus Daigle, on Shout Out Part 2. Please stay tuned.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right. We have another performance from Jairus Daigle. DJ, let's hear To Fool Like That. To Fool Like That. right. That was Too Cool Like That. And is the track getting a shout out or the mute button? First Lady, are you too cool like that?
Yeah, I'm definitely going. Like I said, I enjoy his music. I enjoy his songs. There's not that many jazz violinists out there. I'm trying to remember the one that I like so much. He passed away, and I can't remember his name right now. It just doesn't come to me, but I just enjoy his music. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to shout it out. Definitely shouting it out because he's good. He knows how to play that violin, too. It doesn't even sound like a violin. And to jazz it up, it's really, really good. So I'm definitely going to shout him out, shouting the song out.
All right, Jairus, you got a shout out there. And, wow, right now I can't think of the great jazz violinist, but there's one that stands out there from way back, and which is Michael Urbaniak. If you jazz lovers, he is a badass jazz violinist. He's been doing it for 50 years. So, he's been around. He's old, but the guy and he's out of Poland. He's out of Poland, Michael Urbaniak. All right, now,
before you go, the guy that I was thinking about is Noel Pointer. Noel
Pointer.
You remember Noel Pointer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I ain't heard that name in a long
1994.
time.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that name.
He died at 39 years old. He was fantastic. We used to see. There was a place in East Orange, New Jersey, called Trumpets, and they had a lot of the jazz performers would come there. Actually, it was in South Orange, New Jersey, and Noel Pointer used to frequently come there, and he was a great performer.
Noel Pointer, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the end of shout out. If you like what you heard from Jairus Daigle, check him out at jairusdaigle.com, and that's JAIRUS. D like David, AIGLE, and on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you'd like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent at oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, back to you.
Yes, it's time for the picks. We don't have picks this week because, again, next week is the Super Bowl, but we have results, and we have a lot of results. It's been a long time, and we've had a lot of results. So let's get to these results. And I'm going to be honest with you, quite interesting for these results. So the last results we had were December 14th. So I'm going to start off with December 17 picks, and that's week 15 of the NFL. Dizzy Mack led with 6 million. Spitface, you had 4 million points. I had 3 million points. Week 16, December 24th. Dizzy Mack led with 11 million points. I had 9 million points. You had a bad week, Spitface. You were minus 15 million points. Week 17. That's December 31st. I led with 18 million points. Dizzy Mack was negative 6 million. And Spitface, you had back-to-back negative 10 million points. All right, moving along. Now, week 18, unfortunately, Spitface was the only one presented points. We had some issues that week. But Spitface, you came back with 15 million points. Week 18, well, you remember that was Super Saturday. That was the Saturday special picks for week 18. You had 15 million points. Dizzy Mack and I, we had 0 points. For week 18 on the Sunday blowout, Spitface, you had 10 million points. Dizzy Mack had minus 10 million points. I had 0 points. All right. the wild card weekend, January 14th, I ended up with 0 points. Dizzy Mac had minus 10 points. Spitface, you had 20 million points. The divisional playoffs, January 20th. Spitface, you and I had 45 million points each. Dizzy Mac was a minus 15 million points. The last week, the conference championship, Dizzy Mac was minus 40 million points. Spitface, you and I.
And the Raiders didn't even play.
Huh?
I said, and the Raiders didn't even play.
I don't know. Dizzy Mac, it was quite interesting what he chose. But anyway, you and I came out with 30 million points. So where does that lead us? And I'll tell you, I was very surprised myself with these results. Very surprised. Because obviously Dizzy Mac is at a negative 65.55 million points. Spitface, which I was surprised that you were in second place with 103.2 million points, and I'm leading at 107.15 million points. So it's close. It's going to come down to the Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if Dizzy Mac has a chance. It depends what the producers are going to pick for these points. You know, they was going with 25 million, so I'm not going to say that Spitface and I have a shot, because Dizzy Mac could have a shot too. So it's going to be very interesting, because we get a lot of them prop bets. So we'll see what the producers have in store for us coming next week. It should be quite interesting. All right, Spitface, what is your top story to watch this week?
Kelsey and Taylor Swift.
Who?
Kelsey and Taylor Swift.
And why are they going to be the top story?
You ain't following along with Kelsey and Taylor Swift?
Oh, because they're going to be at the Super Bowl?
Well, yeah. The latest story is that the NFL has rigged the game so that Kansas City will win, so that afterwards Kelsey and Taylor Swift can announce their support for Joe Biden.
Oh, that's a conspiracy. Because they had said that, a lot of casual people who don't watch the NFL have been watching the NFL because of Taylor Swift. And then they did, you're right, because they did do a poll, and I think it was 27% of people who probably never even voted in the election said that they would vote for whoever Taylor Swift says that she would support. I think was it about 20-something percent?
I
think I read that it was 20-something percent. So, that's a big number, because if there's a margin of 5 to 10, that 20-something percent is going to help whoever. So, I don't know. That's a conspiracy. Yeah, I now that you mentioned, I did hear about that. But anyway, I'm so tired of Taylor Swift. Who was it? Shannon Sharp was saying that Beyonce can't move people. How he said Taylor Swift can move people as a money maker for the NFL. She has been a money maker for the NFL. That's what they're saying. So, but anyway, my big story, of course, this is Thursday, is the NBA trade deadline. The NBA trade deadline. So I really think it's going to be a lot of moves. Last year they had a lot of moves. It was a lot of moves. As a matter of fact, we've already had several moves already before the actual deadline. But come Thursday, you're going to see a lot of players packing their bags, because I know that these teams. I mean, my Knicks have been rolling. They lost last night to the Lakers, but what can you do? The Lakers had a game plan, and the other players on the team could not support Jalen Brunson. They couldn't make shots. But anyway, so the trade deadline is upon us, and I think that's the top story to watch besides Taylor Swift. Join us as we honor our veteran women on May 23rd, 2024 in Houston, Texas, and streaming live on your favorite device. To learn more, please visit honorourveteranwomen.com. honorourveteranwomen.com. Check out our current and previous episodes at bras, panties, and sports.com and our Facebook page, our Facebook page at BP and Sports. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Spit Face. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's a wrap.